music. And let me check and see if you hear the fan in the background. Hold on. If so, that sucks because I'm not turned on this AC. Damn, you can hear the fan. That's bullshit. One sec. Oh man, that feels good. I refuse. Let's see if you can hear it now. So, some. Hopefully the fan is muffled. Is it muffled some? Yes. Okay, it sounds a little bit muffled because I don't want to play it. Yeah, great, 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 great. Last thing I want to do is play it back and it sounds ridiculous. So, where are we at? Where are we at? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. It's Karma Israel 1111. I got you again with another video. We're going to go ahead and get right into this one. And I'll put it up here. Where is it? There we go. Karmic mother and siblings are resentful of your freedom and options. They want you stuck like them with a life of bad choices and partners, for whatever that means. Regardless of what your sexual orientation is, whatever your preference is, doesn't matter. It's not limited to woman and man to woman to woman, man to man. It doesn't matter what that is totally your choice. Your freedom to do whatever you want. We're going to look into why. Actually, just got in, so I had to do this as soon as I got in because I'm like, it's been on my head, you know. Actually popped into my mind around 12 o'clock. I was like, I gotta hold that until I get back. Or once I get home, I'll be able to go ahead and get it started while it's fresh on my mind. Okay, so first of all, make sure the sound is going good. Make sure the sound is up. Yep, light bright. That's too bright. That's a damn shame. So, so whoever you are, whoever this is for, if it's not for you, you can click off. You don't have to stick in it. Whoever that you are and whoever this is for, it's for you now or whenever you see it, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 5 months, 6 months, or a year from now, or whenever you see it, however long YouTube is going, it's for you. Especially, it doesn't matter when you click on it. You know, sometimes some people will skip through it and then they click to a certain part and it resonates with them. That may be what happens to whoever you are when you watch this. Okay. You might just tune in and happen to be at a certain point that resonates. All right. If it doesn't, you can go. But if it does, you know what's going on. So now, whoever you are, regardless of whatever path you took in your life, you took a very different path. You definitely are the black sheep. You are the black sheep. Not because there's anything wrong with you. It's just that your interests are different. Your life choices were different. And it's like a spiral. Your life choices were, I would say, all over the place, but not in like a reckless way. It's just like for whoever you are, if something didn't fit, if something didn't make sense, you stopped it, regardless of what it is. For some of you all, maybe you come from a line of doctors, a line of lawyers, a line of teachers, a line of police officers, a line of industrial workers, a line of um, you know, whatever career fields they were in. Or maybe you come from a path for people that just got into one field, stuck in it, and didn't have any other skills, and they just stuck in that, retired from it, or whatever. Or maybe you come from a line of people that got married, got in relationships, hated their marriage, but stayed with it for face value. You know, for how people viewed them in the public eye. They didn't want to break up, even though they look ridiculous together. They didn't get along, didn't like each other, stayed arguing, stayed fighting, whatever it is, whatever your situation is. But they tried to make themselves appear one way in front of people. You know how people say couple goals, and you hear about somebody doing some domestic violence or something, but the image they put up for the world was like perfection. Like, you know, some people, I don't get into TikTok, I don't watch TikTok, but for those of you all who do, um, you know, you see certain things where people say, "Oh, that's couple goal, couple goal, couple goals," and then next thing you know, something's on the news with somebody taking out the partner, setting the partner up, domestic violence or something like that, and people are like, "What? They look so good together." For people, but behind the scenes, it could have been very abusive. For some of you all, that may have been what you saw growing up. It could be a lot of different situations. You took a different path. You may not be the one who took a traditional path like me. You may not be into traditionalism. You may not. So you're the black sheep. You may not be interested in the marriage or the kid type stuff. You may be interested in living your life. And they may ruffle a lot of people in your family, specifically women in the family, from the older ones, grandparents, great grandparents, parent, your mother, even women in the family. If you're a woman, even if you're a dude, you may come from a group of people who felt like they owed their bodily autonomy and freedoms to their family members, which is let's keep this family line going on, even though it's bullshit and trash. Uh, a lot of people did that before you, except for you. They ignored the red flags, did what everybody in their family wanted them to do, and suffered dearly. Resented their own kids or expected their kids to be their retirement plan when they were aging. So whoever you are, I don't know why. What is it? Eve's Bayou? It could have been a situation. Go look it up if you've never seen it. Eve's Bayou is a story about three siblings, a little brother, a younger sister that had to be anywhere between, I don't know, 9, and then an older sister like 14 years old, right? In Eve's Bayou, based out of a Louisiana story. Just bear with me because whenever I get these, pick up this type of stuff, I know it's for a reason. Whatever your situation is, hop around the video until you find something for you. It may not be for you, but I feel like something will be here for somebody. So Eve's Bayou is coming up. In Eve's Bayou, there was this two-story, beautiful house, modern Victorian decor. The father was a doctor. I don't know what the mother did. I guess she was a stay-at-home mom, housemaker, or whatever. But she was beautiful. I think her name was Lynn. I don't know what her last name is, but I know her first name was Lynn. And maybe you know someone named Lynn, or maybe your parent name is Lynn, or maybe your sibling name is Lynn, or maybe your name is Lynn. Okay. And then I forgot his name. The father, I forgot his name. You know what? Duh, I'm right here. So let me look it up. Let me look it up because it's on my mind. So whenever this happens, it's for someone, whoever comes across it. Eve's Bayou cast. Samuel Jackson. That's it. Okay, so somebody, I need to share this because whenever I get to this point where something starts, you know, pulling at my soul a little bit, not in a bad way, I know it's because somebody may resonate with it. Okay. So the cast of Eve's Bayou was Samuel L. Jackson. So somebody named maybe Jackson in your family. You could be last name Jackson. Somebody first name may be Jackson. Samuel, maybe somebody's father name, brother name, somebody. Okay, but Samuel Jackson was the father. We're just gonna look at the cast of Eve's Bayou, and we're gonna look at these names and see if any of these names resonate with you. Journey Smollett, she's beautiful, by the way. Megan Good, somebody name could be Megan. Samuel Lynn Whitfield, Debbie Morgan, Jake, Ethel, Diane, Vunde, Lisa, Tamara, Lola. Let me see who else. Let me look at this. And Branford. If any of these names resonate with you, then this could also be for you. But Eve's Bayou, let me look at this. This scene was epic. Okay. Let me get back. And it'll make sense why that little girl was holding up her finger to her mouth to her little sister. Okay. In this film, because it's letting me know that this needs to be discussed with you all. In this film, Eve's Bayou, before I even get into the message, there was the mother, Lynn Whitfield, now that I see it. The father was Samuel Jackson. The daughter, two daughters and a son. They lived in this mansion, really nice house. The father was a doctor, a community doctor in the community, but the father was a male whore, gigolo. He got around. Okay. The wife, Lynn, was very sad because she knew that he was doing house calls, okay, for patients that were sickly, okay. But what really was going on with the husband of the household was that he was sleeping with all of the women, all of them. Okay. He would go over there, take his medicine bag. Somebody would call him and say they're feeling sick. And he would go over there, leave his wife, beautiful wife too, in that beautiful, luxurious house. And he would go do house call visits for 6 patients. And he would pretty much sleep with them and commit adultery on his wife. Now, he had a spirit of what you call incubus on him, and the women that he were with had a succubus spirit, or vice versa, because they were knowing that this man was married. He was a doctor, so he felt he could be with anyone. Okay, and it got so bad that he even became lustful for his own daughter, his oldest daughter, because every woman he had to have, every woman, and eventually that crept down to this little girl. Okay, his oldest daughter, her, in a pink shirt. All right. And the little daughter was wondering why, like, why is my older sister acting different? Why is she acting strange? Why is she acting so adult like now? Why is she becoming so withdrawn, so quiet, so isolated? And it was because of this guy, okay? The father, him. He was a doctor. This is his beautiful wife, but he had a spirit of lust on him. And for images, they kept up an image of perfection. Beautiful mansion, White House, Victorian style, Louisiana, huge home with at least 5 or 6 bedrooms, right? That's all people focused on. What was going on in the house was a different story. The mother was being cheated on by her husband with every woman in the community, but he had a career that made him very wealthy. So it's almost like she had to ignore it, even though she knew what was going on because she didn't have a career. And she was a housemaker. She was the housewife. She was absolutely gorgeous, but she was a housemaker. So she didn't have a career. She pretty much survived off of his money. And back in those days, that's sort of how it went, right? The daughters was pretty much able to speak their mind, and then they had this aunt. The aunt was very intuitive. This is where we get into envious of your freedom. And I picked up that some of you all are very, how can I put it? Eccentric. Okay. So it's so weird that see, this little girl right here with the red hair, the pretty cute little girl, ended up like her aunt. And this sort of hits resonates with me too because I ended up similar to my aunt that had a gift, me too, of what I do now. Okay, this little girl loved her auntie. Her mom too. Don't get me wrong, but her aunt and her had a lot more in common, even the same color of their hair. This little girl over here ended up with the same gift as her aunt, which is the seer, the clairvoyant. Okay, the intuitive, the reader of runes, and also dealt with doing work for people, meaning that it helped find loved ones. If something was taken from him, help them retrieve it. If they were going through situations, the people would come in and provide that individual with whatever the individual needed to perform the request of the customer. And the reader, which was her aunt, which is this little girl right here, what that also had to give. Her aunt was this woman. I'm gonna show you her. Where is the aunt? There she go. See these two women? They ended up like the two sisters. The little girl that I just showed you ended up like this aunt with the red hair. The older sister that ended up getting violated by the father ended up being Lynn, like her. This woman right here felt like she was cursed in relationships because every person that fell for her died. So she ended up becoming isolated to prevent that from happening. But she had a very strong gift of sight, very eccentric. She was very wealthy, but she was a widower. Every person that she married died. Okay. And she, you know, this woman, on the other hand, was married, but her husband was a gigolo or a male whore that slept with every woman in the community because he felt he could, because he was a doctor. He had a strong spirit of lust and perversion that made him mess with his own daughter right under their nose, right? The little bitty girl ended up like this little aunt, this aunt right here, this pretty lady. Both of them beautiful, by the way. The lady with the red hair and red lipstick, well, black and white. This was the seer and the highlight somewhat of the movie. Okay. You all, this sort of reminds me of myself. Okay. You had two of them. Okay. This is another seer that was in the community. She was the community witch in Louisiana. Pretty much, she did it all. Rooms. Well, if you needed work done, you came to her. She would get it done for you. You had to be very mindful of what you wanted because it was going to happen. Period. Be careful when you come in there because if you come in there, you better be serious about what you want because when you walk out, she's already getting it done. She has a little tip jar over here, as you can see. She's burning a purple candle, which is also for the third eye, intuition, psychic ability. She has all of her crystals and stones, and she has this covering over her face for protection. And you see that third eye up at the top. You see the little beads in the background. A lot of you who may have this gift, like myself, you were drawn to these type of things at a very young age, like the same age as that little girl. And that, the little girl that was like 8, 9, feathers, crystals, stones, runes, tarot cards, Reiki healing, spirituality. You were into all these things at a very young age, and you probably had someone in your family, probably not your own mother, because this is the one that's jealous, or siblings. It probably was one aunt that was very different too that you clicked with, just like me, right? You see this background that I have here? It's so amazing. Well, the crescent moon, the sun, and the stars back there. You see that? When I was growing up, my aunt also had that. She had tapestries. She burnt incense. She was very creative. She can interior decorate anything. She create baskets. She would put a lot of different decor in it. Her spot was amazing. She turned her whole garage into a room. She had little what do you call it? Futons in there. She had a record player. That's what she liked. She didn't prefer the update. She was very otherworldly, put it like that. She preferred to play her stuff on record players instead of like the modern stuff. Okay. And she reminded me somewhat a mixture of this woman that's on the screen, her, this woman who did it. If you say you wanted it done, it was done. And she also reminded me of this woman with the red hair. A mixture of them both, because both of them were seers that just did different things. Okay, one took it a step further, and would if some of you were serious about wanting someone to pass on, she asked her, you bring me a couple of items and be sure this is what you want, because once it's done, it's undone. Okay. This woman knew of those things. She was more of a intuitive reader, rune reader, psychic reader, tarot card reader, clairvoyant. Could tell you what's going to happen in the amount of days, months, weeks when it would happen, where you could find lost relatives, how to help you get your finances back in order if someone stole from you. This is what this lady in the black and white would do. Okay, but both of them had the gift, and all three of them did. The older woman, this woman right here in the black and white, her beautiful lady, and both of them, this woman right here that the little girl went to because of her sister, and the little girl in the red hair. All three of them had the gift. This little girl didn't realize she had it. She didn't know what was going on but she was always drawn to the aunt, her aunt, which was her mother's sister, just like my mother's sister, where my mother's identical twin was the one I was close with. I was not cool with my mom. I was cool with her identical twin, just like this little girl was cool with her mom's sister. This little girl also had the gift. That's why she connected with the aunt. This girl over here is the one that was violated from the father because the father's lust. And Lynn Whitfield was a homemaker that did not have a career. She was just like the trophy wife that was beautiful, but still was cheated on by her gigolo husband that could not control himself. Okay. The reason why I had to give you the background is because this story popped up in my mind. When it comes down to you, whoever this is for, you definitely are gifted, meaning that you are connected spiritually, you have a covering over you, you are able to pick up on things at young ages. No one can, you get good pattern recognition. You can pick up on people's deception, lies, manipulation, vindictiveness, maliciousness, and just two-facedness very quickly. No one can lie to you. Okay. You dream things that happen, just like me, and they happen. And you know when you can't be around certain people because you pick up on a vibe. It'll make you nauseated. It'll make you want to vomit. It'll give you a very bad headache when you get around certain people, ringing in the ear, get irritated around them, but you could be totally calm around somebody else. Okay, you're picking up on that person's energy. So the reason why I'm bringing this up and had to bring that up, you may want to go check out the movie Eve's Bayou. Eve's Bayou. Okay, right there on the screen. Type it up, Eve's Bayou, and see how that resonates with whoever you are and which character, which one of these people are you? Okay. Are you the mother, Lynn Whitfield, the homemaker? Are you, or was that your mother? Was she, beautiful but tolerated a lot of stuff? Dealt with a gigolo whore husband that slept around, that felt like he could do whatever he want because of his career. He was the only one bringing in the money, and that she could not survive without the husband. Are you the older daughter that felt like you had to be the responsible one because the mother was too consumed with the husband? Are you the little girl with the gift, this gifted, spiritual, or the little brother, or are you the auntie? Are you the aunt right here? Are you her with the gift, the older version of the little girl with the red hair? When she grows up, she's going to have this gift. They felt cursed in relationships and didn't know why. Everyone that that person got with either died or something happened to where she just stayed to herself. Or were you this other woman, her, the one that has been in the game for a while, that could get someone to pass on if you come to her with the right stuff? Okay. The little girl got pissed off because the father, this little girl, she asked her sister, this little one right here, she asked her sister, "What's wrong with you?" One day the quote unquote her so-called cycle started. Her cycle didn't start. Her father did that to her. Okay. And she became isolated, withdrawn, and secluded. And the little girl, her younger sister, noticed something was wrong, and she was like, "What happened? What happened?" And the little girl, this girl, the older girl, didn't want to tell her, and she ended up telling her. Like she gave her the visual. Now she's telling the story, the one in the blue. This little girl has a gift like her aunt, so she can feel exactly what happened. And she said that the father was a drunk, and one day she came down to check on the father when he came in late, which is like 1 in the morning, from whoring around with different women, and the mother was asleep somewhere. She went to kiss her father goodnight, and she had, I guess, daddy's little girl, whatever. She looked up to the father, and I guess she had somewhat of, I don't know, a crush or whatever, looked up to her dad, and then she kissed her dad goodnight, but the dad did more to this little girl in the blue, took advantage of this girl, and then she became withdrawn and isolated. And she ended up telling the little sister, and this little girl in the red hair got mad when she found out and ran and told this woman. This woman said, and she had already got the little hair that she needed, an item of the father's, a piece of hair, something that was close to the father, and told that little girl, "Are you sure?" Okay. Because, she's the real deal Holyfield. Both of them were. All three of them had the gift. But this one made shit pop. And she told that little girl, she told, because three people went to her. The aunt with the red hair went to this woman one day when they were in the fair, and that woman with the white face, the community witch, told her that you're cursed. Your relationships are cursed. Any man that loves you will die. And she got mad and cussed the witch out, this woman, because she also has a gift right here. The mother went to her and she wanted to know about her connection with the husband. Okay. This woman in the purple. All right. This woman right here, told her that give it 3 years. In 3 years, you'll be happy again. Look to your children. And she said, "Look to your children for the answers." And she said, "In 3 years, you'll be happy again. You'll be happy again." Okay. And this woman was like, "That's it?" In the purple. She said, "That's all? I don't get anything else?" And she's like, "Look to your children for the answers." All right. And later on down the line, literally, this woman ended up shutting her daughters and everybody into the house, did not knowing that that's when it would happen, because her sister had a vision of a kid being hit by a bus, and it was somebody that got hit, but it wasn't her kids. But the father had taken advantage of this little girl over here in the blue. Okay. Once this little girl in the red found out that the father violated her older sister, this little girl also went to this woman. And the little girl already knew. She brought a piece of hair from her father's comb, and she brought something else from the father, right? This woman took that infant, all of that, and put it in the mouth of a black snake Okay. Put all that, tied it up and put it in the mouth of a black snake and let it swim to the bottom of a swamp. Okay. And told her to come back at night to see me. Okay. And the little girl did. She went back. She was mad. She was like, "You violated my older sister. I'm mad at him." And sure enough, the father ended up getting popped by one of the husbands of the women he was sleeping around with, somebody else's wife. They got very jealous, very upset that the doctor, you know, had been going around sleeping with everybody's wife. So he got taken out for his own lust and perversion. Okay. Just the background of the storyline. All right. So I had to share that for a reason because I feel like it's going to resonate with someone. You definitely are gifted. You could have came up in a place where, people like to put up images and, you know, I came up like that. Big ass house. Pop was a gigolo. Had no connection with my mom and definitely was extremely close to my mother's identical twin. My mom's identical twin was my mother. That's the one I loved being around. She was also into what I'm into. At a very, very young age, she always knew it. She knew exactly what I wanted, exactly what I needed, which wasn't much. She knew I was into spirituality at a very young age, from the age of maybe 6. She knew exactly what gifts, which wasn't much. I didn't need name brand gifts. She would get me like the stuff I like, Zen, Reiki, spirituality. She knew, and I loved being around her in her creative house with stuff like this: sun, moon, stars, candles, incense, beautiful like music, Asian decor from China, Japan, Tokyo. She had a lot of different aesthetic, a lot of different interior decor, and no one could really tell what her ethnicity was because both of them were biracial, my mom and her twin. So no one really knew what they were. Okay. I came out brown because of who my mom chose. Okay. But I still have their nose and all of that type of stuff. But anyway, people, to get into the subject, I have to always get a background first to give you a good idea of what I'm picking up here. Um, some people, they had it all. They had beauty, they had options, but they made bad choices. Somebody, including your siblings and your mother figure, whoever, biological mother, stepmother, whoever it is, a mother figure, made bad choices in males and bad choices in life with their options with the time that they had. Either they could have been like the mother of the house in that big ass house, well, a homemaker got with a guy because he had money. The guy got greedy, felt big, like he could do whatever he want, went around being a male whore, and coming back to his beautiful wife in a nice house, keeping up an image because he was a doctor, right? So you could have came up with a parent like that that didn't really have a mind of their own. They just was doing the homemaker thing. Not to say that homemakers are like that, but she was just like depending on him. Or, you could have just came up with a gift and only had one person that pointed it out to you. The reasons why you're a black sheep. From a very young age, you were secluded, isolated, obviously made to feel different because of your interests, which wasn't church and religion and bullshit like that. You were more into astrology, astronomy, metaphysics, quantum physics, the stars, looking at the moon, noticing the moon changes before you even knew, watching shows depending on your generation. Depending on what generation you came from, it could have been like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Charm, The Craft, stuff like that, Eve's Bayou, The Matrix, Johnny Darko, Equilibrium, Butterfly Effect. You were probably into stuff like that. Anything dealing with anything not picked up from the physical eye, anything that goes on behind the scene, paranormal, you probably had these things happen or were very interested in it, including your decor, the way you dress, probably wear a lot of chokers now or then and still do. Just your style is different, like gypsy, like you didn't, you know, so you took a different route than everybody else. They sort of went the route of latching on to dudes, latching on to not only dudes, but dudes who could do nothing for them. Maybe somebody who got around in the streets, ran from woman to woman, loose dudes with no stability for real, just image. So you could come from women that were too afraid to make choices on their own, but would prefer to hide behind a dude or latch onto a dude and whatever he says and be resentful of that and end up having kids and then become resentful of the kid, especially you, because you didn't take their path. You didn't go the whole, you could be child free like me by choice, which means you never were interested in that shit. You were never interested in the kids. You were never interested in marriage ever in your life. You like your freedom. You like your own life. Okay. And this has caused reoccurring situations in your life from other women, older women, or women in general, and the women in your family out of resentment and jealousy towards your freedom and options in life. They could have tried to block you, stop you, put monkey wrenches in your plan, throw you off, try to get you held back, fabricate or defamation of character to your name just because they were resentful of your time, your life, your choices, your options, even your resources. Okay, and what you can do within your day that they can't because they have diapers to change and a horror, may a gigolo dude that they have to cook for and do all this shit and keep up image. And some of them may not be able to survive without their husbands, even though their husband's a gigolo. Okay. And that's the path they chose. And I feel like some of you all come from a lot of women, siblings, or whatever that latched on the dudes and their dream, their money, their stuff, their and they could have been alcoholics just like Eve's Bayou. It could have been like an alcohol or drugs or womanizers or loose in the streets, dudes like that. And that's what they had to be with, but they had to pretend everything was fine. So those women chose the religious route, went to church every Sunday, keeping the image up, but were miserable. But they couldn't show people they were miserable. They had to act like they were happy, you know, but it could have been a different story in your household, like arguing, fights, resentments towards you, talking to you a certain type of way. But in the streets, they were acting all happy and all this type of stuff, but they were not. And you all saw that and was like, never me. Just like me. Never. You want your freedom. So that was never an interest of yours, okay, or mine. Tapped in spiritually, intuitively, can pick up on people before they open their mouth. Okay. So now these individuals are resentful of you because you're not boggled down. You may have never married, just like me, never and never will, never want to. That's embarrassing. Okay. To you all, marriage is embarrassing. To you all, even being with them is embarrassing. You know, to you all, if you decided to be with anyone, you wouldn't even take them seriously. You would just send them on their damn way and get them the hell out your face because you're not into that. If you were to do that, you don't need them. You don't want them. Okay. So you all are like that woman with the red hair with that's the seer, gifted, living your life, but a little bit different because her situation was different than yours or mine. You chose to enjoy your freedom and your singleness and not be boggled or riddled with kids. And, you know, you could pick up on people vibes. So you're not going to have nobody fake and phony around you because you can already pick up on them. You dream things that happen. And you can't share this type of stuff with everybody because half of them are religious. They're not spiritual. They're not intuitive. They're, word for word, go by the Bible, that and you just don't click with that, just like me. I'm not traditional, you're not traditional, and you're not a Bible knocker. You're not into the Bible stuff, teach their own. You are connected, tapped in. You don't you're not scared of some you're going to hell, they can't scare you with this going to hell shit. All right. So that creates a lot of problems with the women in your family, siblings, aunts, grandmothers, great grandmothers, stepmothers, mothers, and women out in this world that have went along to get along, been groomed, been mind fucked, mind manipulated to go down a path and not even know what they want. They don't know their self. And they don't want you knowing yourself either. They don't understand who you think you are to know yourself. You should not have ever known yourself. That's what they think. You should be pushing kids around, miserable, stressed, waiting for a dude to give you some money, burping and farting while sitting on the couch while you tire your body out. These women don't like that you get rest. They don't like that you look refreshed. They don't like that you take care of your own stuff. They don't like the shit. The women in your family and women out in this world, they don't like that because they're not refreshed. They don't get rest. They have to take care of kids because they laid down with a dude and now they got to take it. They had to take care of the dude's kids. Okay, that's what they chose. And they want you to go down that path, and they don't understand why you're not like them. They want you stuck like them. They want you miserable like them. They want you stressed like them. They want you looking tired like them. They want you looking old like them. They want you ran down like them. They want you to not be able to have any options like them. They want you to depend on a dude like them. They want you to be with a male whore or male gigolo or, a dude that's for the streets like them. They want you with an alcoholic dude or a dude that's on drugs or a mama boy like them. That's what they chose. And you are not interested in none of this shit above. You're doing your own thing. Okay, so you definitely went a different route from your entire bloodline. You definitely went a different route, also, like me. Okay, a whole nother route. And you learned from their bad choices. You learned from their choices and dudes. You were never attracted to what they were attracted to. You were never going to make choices that they made. You were never going to marry for security. You were never going to breed to make other people happy. You were not going to let a dude breed you so that people could think you're an adult immature. You'll be ready to cuss these people out, and they do not offend you. You would gladly be a happy cat lady because you do not, and you're not pushing out any fucking thing, just like me. And we'll check a bitch quick. You're not pushing out a fucking thing out of your cooch, and you don't have to, just like me. People try to like throw shade and try to hope that they can hurt your feelings, and you're like, I don't give a fuck. You speak bluntly. You probably use profanity like me. You're very eccentric, very enigmatic, very otherworldly. You don't give a fuck about following anybody, and you're not stepping in anybody's fucking church. Okay, so people will try to like make up shit about you. You don't give a fuck because you don't hang with them anyway. All right, some of them may think that wish that you wanted what they wanted. They just wish that you would ruin your life. They want you to ruin your life. They want you to ruin your future. Okay. They want you with toxic partners. They want you with drunks and drug addict dudes. They want you with dudes that got baby mamas all over the place. They want you being one of many. They want you being tied to all these fucking women through the kids, through a dude, being miserable with a male like gigolo, just like what they chose. So that you can trauma bond with them. That's how what they do. So that you can gossip with them because they're all gossiping together and you're doing your own thing. You're probably no contact like me. You're creative. You can make something out of nothing. You have a lot of haters. Whether you think you look regular or not, it's not because of the way you look. It's because of your freedom. It is because of your options. It is because you don't give a fuck about being a dude's pick. You don't even want them in your face. Like I said, for those of you all who do date, you don't want them in your space. You don't want them spending the night. You get the fuck on, get the fuck out. You're not trying to, you don't want their last name. You don't want to meet their mother. You don't want to meet their family. For some of you that are in that type of, you just, you get, they're just something to do, but you're not with them like that. No disrespect. You're just not feeling them. You're not want to be stuck with them. You don't want them living with you. You don't want to live with them. You don't want their last name. You don't want to have a brand on you of a motherfucker's name. And you most certainly aren't going to reproduce their kids. You like your life. You don't want their money. You get your own. And you're not cooking and cleaning for a motherfucker ever, except for yourself. So yeah, you are one of a kind, just like me. All the shit I just said, me, I know, except for I keep my energy for myself. So you all could be the abstinence, the celibates, the asexuals, or if you're not, you're just free. If you're not, I am in the abstinent route or the asexual route, and I'm going to stay this way. I don't want anybody touching my energy. With these gross motherfuckers out here, right? Whoever you are, if that's what you choose, you don't cling to these motherfuckers. You don't give a fuck. Teach their own. Okay, so you definitely people don't know where you come from. They wish you would have made choices like them. They wish that you could be sitting up riddled with kids, crawling on your lap, crawling on your knee, crawling up your back, screaming and yelling in the other room, tearing down the blinds, biting on the door, tearing shit down while the dude is just running around in everybody's face, doing whatever they want, hanging with the dudes while you're cooking and cleaning and changing poop and listening to kids screaming, I want this. You knew that was never something you wanted. So you don't want to be around them. And they most certainly can't be around you. There's nothing they can do for you. Someone calling you a cat lady is a compliment to you. But you don't even have cats, except for the one you were born with, okay? And that's the cat for you, okay? If you do have cats, you don't care. Like, what the fuck would you tear your life down and ruin your life so that other people can be happy. Just so that you could run to church and look for a miracle and sitting there with women that can't stand each other. They hate each other. They're in the same situation as each other, which is the only reason why they even like each other. And they still don't like each other. They want to know why they don't see. You're not in those churches because you don't need to look for a miracle. You are the miracle. Why would you need to? If you make bad choices, you're going to need a miracle. Okay. So all these bitches will gang up together. Okay. Because they are all in similar situations. They let it either that they were the dude that's broke, they have no money, no hopes, no wishes, that have drug addict, alcohol addict, male whore, or they're with dudes that have money and they have to keep. It's either one of the two with these women. They choose dudes who have money but control their ass, and they got to keep the image up to get what they need to latch off the dude, or they're women who have to do it all but with kids and a dude that has absolutely nothing, which is even worse. So they look at you and they're like, "Aren't you missing something?" And you're like, "You getting the fuck out my face." And what they are hoping that you feel bad. They want to say that you're lonely and you love your freedom. You love your ability to be free. You don't want to latch to a fucking roach, okay, draining you and latching off of your life force and sucking the beauty and the life and the light out of you. Okay. And you don't give a fuck who don't like it. You are very eccentric. Just like me. Okay. They have always disliked you. Okay. You don't stick anywhere where you don't want to. You could pick up and do whatever you fucking want, and they hate that about you. They wanted you stuck and miserable, not being able to make choices. Okay, they wanted some ugly ass dude to show up, diseased, probably from being, loose from different women. They wanted you with something like that, either a wealthy one or a broke motherfucker that has nothing. But for you to be attached to that and bragging that they like you and bragging that they want to sleep with you and bragging that they knocked you up, whether they're from poverty, a dude that's impoverished, or a dude they have a little bit of money. Either one can ruin their life, which ruined their lives, because that's what they ran after. They had low value within their self, and their self-esteem was in the trash, and they didn't want to go within, so they latched on to a dude to have some type of status in the world, even if it was for show only, and behind the scenes they were miserable, stuck with the kids, stuck with the responsibilities, stuck with the burden, stuck with the poverty, and having to save face by pretending everything was fine. Or they were with a wealthy dude that felt like, hell, I got this dough. I could be with anybody. You just my trophy lady. So you smile for the camera, you smile for these people. When we go in public, you make us look good. But I'm gonna be out here hoeing around because I got dough. I know you didn't think I was just gonna be with you. Okay, so it's a mixed bag of what the women in your family could have ended up with. Wealthy dudes that can care less about the commitment, or dudes that were already broke and from poverty, and whores. Okay. And whores. All right. So that's a double embarrassment. And they have their kids. They look at you and they feel like if you wouldn't be so free, if you would just be tied down, if you would grow up. They want you to so-called grow up. To them, growing up is making bad choices that you regret. To them, growing up is popping out kids means you're an adult because you can have sex unprotected and open yourself up to venereal diseases from people who probably are whore hopping dudes with different women all over the place. To them, that's growing up. To them, growing up is not about making good choices, thinking before you act, planning your own life out, not doing what the fuck you don't want to do, doing what you want to do, and not what any bitch tell you to do. Because you grown too. You don't do what any bitch tell you to do or do, because both of them can get the business. And they're upset at that. They want you limited. And it's not, they want you limited and restricted. They don't like all these fucking choices you have. They hate to see you without burdens. They check. They want to know if you're burdened yet. They're not checking to see if you're happy. They want to make sure you're. They want to see if you're burdened. Or is she burdened yet? Does she have any real responsibilities? Do you have real responsibilities yet? Have you bred? Okay, yeah, it's a lot of talking. They're keeping track of whether you've bred. If a dude has ruined your life yet, if a dude has come in with buck teeth, funky breath, stink draws, with a couple dollars in his pocket and babies all over the place and different women. They want you with that shit. And they want you having their offspring so that now you're an adult. No, you are an adult already. Having having poverty peen, getting poverty peen is not attractive. Poverty peen is nothing to brag about. These women ended up with poverty pookie, peen, and kings of poverty in their poverty seeds. And they're upset that they were trapped with the poverty seeds. And they want you trapped too. And they want to know who the fuck you think you are to keep yourself to yourself. Who do you think you are to have your own? Who do you think you are to decline dudes? You should be happy with what you can get. What are you declining for? You better accept anything so that you can get you a drunk, get you a druggie, get you poverty king, get poverty peen, and poverty seeds, just like them. Okay? There's a lot of Gemini here. Somebody could be a Gem, or a Gemini's rule communication, Mercury. So there's a lot of talking going on. These people want you trapped. They feel trapped. And they feel like it's your responsibility to be trapped too. They don't know where you get all this uniqueness from. And they wish that they could have the uniqueness. Yeah, they all this knowledge. Where are you getting this shit from? They didn't teach you that. How come you were born with this and not them? How come you were born with all these choices and opportunities? How come you were born with self respect and self love? How come you were born with self value and don't need your value from a whore? You don't need your value from a male gigolo. Why don't you want poverty peen? Why aren't you attracted to poverty peen? Why don't you want community peen? Poverty peen? Why don't you want that? Why is that not good for you? It's good for them, you know? Why are you breaking they want you I told you they want you restricted. Why is church not good for you? They want to bind your finances, your spirituality, your love life, and your energy. They feel like if you didn't have energy, you wouldn't be bouncing all around like that. If you were slowed down a bit. They wish they can slow down your finances. They wish they could block your spirituality. They're saying you need to go to church. Whoever you are, if you're like me and you're not into that church shit, you're not into that. They can scare you with hell all they want. You're not doing the church shit with all them fake motherfuckers, all them fake ass women up in there crying all over the place when they were bragging and raising their hand to be chosen by the poverty peen, poverty pookie, and the poverty king with his poverty elixir. Okay, they gave them the poverty seeds. They want you hemmed up because they're hemmed up. Okay, they want your life and they want you having their life. They want you. Some of them they want you stuck with kids. They want you stuck with being embarrassed with poverty peen. The poverty king, the poverty creator. They want you with a dude that creates poverty. Okay. They want you down and out. Okay. Like them in pain. Okay. They want you see the heart on the chest? They want you making choices, reckless choices that can ruin your life and being miserable about it. And then looking over and being stuck with the motherfucker. And they don't understand why you're not. Who told you to have this? Why aren't you bound? Because they've been trying it, just like the ease by you. They could be fumbling around trying to figure out how to fuck up your life some type of way through sorcery or going to see someone. Nothing's happening to you. One, because you're maintaining your energy. For whatever it is, I believe you have a portal closed within yourself. They use their portals. They let anybody enter their portal. You close that, so which means you are either celibate, abstinent for years on purpose. You're just not interested. So why they can't you can't get on their energetic level because that's what they value. That's what they like. So they open themselves up to poverty peen, and the poverty king going door to door with their poverty peen, their infected poverty peens, making kids all over the place in any place, any hole. They drop their poverty seeds all over the place, and they want to know like, what are you doing? They could be spreading rumors like, oh, saying that you did this or that and you haven't done any of that because how it's impossible. How did you dodge poverty peen? You're not interested. You're out the way. You take care of your stuff. How come you don't have any offspring from the poverty king? Because you're not with them. You're not interested in being selected from poverty king. You don't want to meet the poverty king's mother and be connected with the poverty king's family. That is not your dream to be stuck with the poverty king with his crown of poverty. And his last name represents impoverishment. Okay. You don't want to be attached to a dude that last name is a definition of poverty, pretty much. You're interested in your freedom. Look at the shit. It's three of them. You can They could be into some shit. So they could be something about the moon, full moon. They could be trying to go against you using moon phases, speaking word magic on you. I hope this person fail. I hope this person give up. I hope this person ends up in pain. I hope this person gets a broken heart. I hope they end up with a dude that treats them like shit. I hope they end up with the poverty king. We got a poverty king. How come she don't have a poverty king? Send a dude her way that's full of impoverishment. They come from a bloodline of poverty. Whose mother whose mother was cool with having poverty, whose father was a poverty king, and now the son is poverty king too, a crown of impoverishment. Okay, popping out poverty from his body and dumping that into women, dumping that poverty into any woman that is gullible and thirsty. This is what they want for you. It's three of them at least, a mother and two daughters, or a stepmother and some daughters or aunts or grandmothers, whatever it is. They really are. They got their back turned to you because they really are pissed off at you. You haven't done anything to them but make better choices. And with these people making better choices is an insult and a slap in the face because you're all supposed to be trauma bonded. No one's supposed to do better than the other. They're all supposed to have this dear mama story, dear mama, Tupac, dear mama, bullshit, where they attach themselves to a fucking loser and then tell people they did the best they could. And then they're best friends now. But you are the outcast because you didn't make choices they made. Not because you think you're better. You value your own freedom and your options. You don't want to be tied down with Pookie, poverty Pookie, and his offspring, the poverty king. Ugh. You don't want the poverty king. Okay. The poverty king is good at spreading poverty. They see you as empowered. There is no attachment. There is no demonic attachment. You see? This is entity attachment. It can't attach to you. You are empowered. They hate that. They don't want you empowered. You're fit. You're in shape. You look good. You got people asking you questions. If you're in shape, you look good, and you're attractive, why are you single? Why don't you have a poverty king? Why aren't you letting somebody dump poverty in you? Why aren't you inviting these poverty peens to where you live to stank you up and pour poverty into your body and have you being the mother of impoverishment? Why aren't you attaching yourself to these incubus or succubus, incubus spirits with these spirits of perversion on them to let it latch onto you? You reject, you denounce, you turn down that shit because you can see straight through it. You're not about to let your light be drawn and drained. You're not about to let your luster, your light be destroyed by this shit, an entity. And they sent it to you. You're empowered. You see the shit? Fit. You could be in shape. You get the gym. You could be in shape. You take care of your appearance. But you make yourself unavailable to these perverted entities that want to latch to you and drain you of your light and your life and your future and your choices and your options. They want to latch onto you, but they can't because you don't have the same frequency as these male gigolos, these poverty kings, and you will not let their poverty seeds touch you. You won't even make yourself available to these motherfuckers. It's like spraying off. You represent a off spray can of off to a mosquito. You're like a off candle. So when these entities try, they had to go the other way. They cannot because your energy is not matching their shit. Okay, so they sent this shit. They wishing. I hope they end up with a drug addict. I hope they end up with a alcoholic. I hope they end up with a womanizer. I hope they end up with a perverted dude. I hope they ended up. I hope they get with somebody who can't control themselves, got a spirit of lust attached to them. I hope they end up with somebody who's diseased. You're not interested in other motherfuckers. So this is them. the women. And this is the entity that was going right back to their ass because that's what they have. That's what they chose. That's what they're stuck with. That's the choices they made with their options. They chose to be pretty much pick me, raise their hand, choose me, choose me, choose me. Whether it was a broke dude that was a hoe or a wealthy dude that was a hoe. They chose that because they were too afraid to make their own choices and they didn't know what options they had in life. They didn't value their freedom, their time, or themselves. So they ended up with these entity attachments. Okay. And they was hoping that for you, but it's in reverse. So it can't touch you. You're too empowered. You know yourself. You know your worth. You don't get, oh, wait a minute. You don't get your worth on your, you don't need to be on your back. And you definitely don't have anything in common with Poverty Pookie, the Poverty King. You don't want their Poverty King. So they can wish all they want, not just them, but any woman out in this world. They have a problem with you because you won't choose impoverishment. You won't go lay up under a dude that is the face of poverty. You don't want poverty. You're not going to lay down, open yourself up for a motherfucker that wears a crown of poverty on their head and whose last name represents impoverishment. That makes no sense. To have that be your name so that you can be raising your hand to be selected from poverty so that you can take on the last name of impoverishment and lay down and breed with poverty because your value you don't see yourself as worth anything. That's what they want for you and you don't. The entities can't stick to you at all. It's stuck to them. Okay. They hate the choices they've made. That's not your fault. It's whoever they laid down with. They the one who wanted that. They the one open themselves down to the motherfuckers. They didn't want to be empowered like you. They chose to chase dudes and dudes that could do nothing fucking for them but be in their face, riddling them with kids and problems. That's not your problem. Now they want you silenced. They want you stopped. They want you blocked. And that's not gonna fucking happen because you know who you are. Okay. And not only them, but some women out here in this world that feel the same way about you. They feel like you have too many options. You need to settle down. You need to slow down. You need to be slowed down. You need to get you, look, don't act like you need to go get you some poverty. Get you one of these dudes, lay down with them, and pass down poverty with them. Stop all this freedom shit. Stop all this creativity. Stop learning. They want you to be dumb. They don't want you learning anything. They don't want you knowing that you have options, and they don't want you loving yourself. They want you to get with the poverty king with a crown made of shit on his head, with dirty drawers, and 30 kids all over the place with different mothers that you have to get along with because you all share kids from the poverty king that goes door to door, leaving poverty crumbs wherever he gets done laying. You won't open your door to that shit. You won't even look its way. You won't smile at it. You won't wave at it, and you most certainly are not flirting with it or laying with it. The fuck? Why would somebody wish that for you? Because they don't like the fact that you made it out. Okay? They want to interrupt any goodness. Check out East Bayou. They don't want you being in a good connection, or they don't want you loving yourself or with someone else. They want to interrupt that. They want to be in the middle. They don't want you having those boundaries that you have. They want to dismantle your boundaries, your self-respect, your self-love, and your self-worth. They want to be in the middle of that shit. Cause they feel like that's the only reason you're able to make it because you chose a different route and they want to fuck that up for you. They're sick of seeing you winning and they can't wait. They keep asking around because you don't communicate with these motherfuckers at all. They want to know, are you torn down yet? Are you knocked up yet? Did you cut the freedom shit out? Did you let one of these dudes breed you yet? So that you can come on back to reality and get over with them. Go to church, ask for a miracle, lean on each other while the dudes roam around being whores with different women that's raising their hand to be selected to get their last name of impoverishment. No, motherfucker. No, it's not going to happen. You're not joining that. So they can keep wishing, hoping, and praying because you're not doing it. You're at peace. They don't like this shit for you. They're tired of your peace and harmony and calmness. They want to disrupt your peace, disrupt your calmness, disrupt your strategy, disrupt your stability, disrupt your mindset, disrupt your self-love, disrupt that value you have within yourself. They want you to run the dudes to ask them for value. They want you to give a fuck about what a dude likes. The poverty king especially. They want you to run behind a poverty king Okay, would it do with his pockets turned inside out with 30 kids and 30 baby mamas and tons of disease. They want you giving a fuck about what they think, like they do, like they did. And you're like, okay, no. Why would I care what the poverty king likes? We're happy that the poverty king and the poverty king look exposed. Like they want you with a person who later on gets exposed for being diseased or a whore or a gigolo or a drunk or a drug or whatever it is. They want you with someone like that. Okay, someone who can't control themselves while you walk around embarrassed as fuck with something like that next to you. They want you walking around with someone who everybody in the community has a kid from this poverty king. Okay, that has nothing to offer but their diseased genitals and empty pockets. Or maybe they have a little bit of dough, but they're still diseased because they're whore. Okay. They want to know, like, why don't you want that for yourself? They didn't teach you to have worth. They didn't teach you to do all this creative shit. Who told you to tap into spirituality? They're religious. Stop. They want you to stop. I told you, you're creative. They hate your creativity, your ideas, your imagination. They hate this freedom. You can even be LGBTQA like me. You could be LGBTQA, which means you could be gay, lesbian, or you could be asexual also. Asexual. I'm the A and LGBTQA plus. So I also represent LGBTQA. Matter of fact, happy Pride Month for those who are prideful. The happy Pride Month. Okay, regardless of what they try to take away, happy Pride Month. Okay, they're mad that they felt like you need to be straight. If you're straight, they feel like you need to prove it by going and getting knocked up. Prove it. Prove it. They want if you're straight, go prove it. Go be selected. Go be happy to have one of these motherfuckers in your face. And if you're gay, like me, will will well, you need to be straight because God. Now they want to quote religion. You don't give a fuck about that. Fuck you quoting religion for? You know I'm spiritual. That I'm not scared. You say I'm going to hell because you want me knocked up with one of these ugly motherfuckers like you chose. I don't have any aspirations of being anybody's fucking mother, and I never will, bitch. Okay. So you go do it. Go lay on your back. You go get the poverty king. You get the poverty king. Why you want me with a poverty king? I'm gay. I'm gay. Duh. I rock the colors, but I rock the purple, the gray, the black, and the white. That's an ace, asexual. That doesn't mean I want to sleep with you. I can see a beautiful person. I don't want you. I don't want your body. I think you're a cool person. I don't want your body. They hate that shit because they've been looking for some bad news on you so bad, and they wish you grow up. They say grow up. Go sleep with the dude. If you're a dude, they want you to go sleep with the woman. Have some kids so you can be stressing out and be broke. And they want your partner to be a poverty motherfucker. The fuck? Do they think we're dumb? They think we give a fuck. Hell yeah, I'll be a cat lady. Hell yeah, a dog lady, whatever. Hell fucking no, I don't want the poverty king. Fuck, that's disrespectful. They say you're guarded. That's why they feel like if you weren't guarded, then you would have been knocked down. If you weren't guarded, you wouldn't have all this freedom. You wouldn't have all these goddamn options. They go to dog, okay? They feel like if you why you so guarded? Why don't you let get with one? Come on now, grow up and get with you a loser. Get a loser. Get a loser. Grow up. Go get a loser so that you can pray for a miracle after you get fucked up. They want you stuck like Chuck, okay? Why you they feel like if you weren't so guarded and had all this self-respect and boundaries that you would be like them. You would have been caught up. But they don't. They want you to dismantle them boundaries, grow up, don't have no boundaries. To them, that means growing up. They feel that growing up and being an adult is lacking boundaries, self-esteem, lacking self-awareness, lacking accountability, lacking responsibility, lacking boundaries, lacking awareness. They feel like that's growing up and just doing anything, just get it over with. Go get with a bitch. I mean, go get with a loser. So that you can fit into society and care about what these motherfuckers you don't know think. You don't give a fuck about fitting in with society, and you're not going to get with the fucking poverty king. You get with that poverty, motherfucker. You walk around with that motherfucker name on you, that brand of poverty on you. Words are powerful. You lay up with the poverty motherfucker and you let it lay on you and dump that poverty into you. And you think I'm moi? You think I want that? You got me fucked up. Give me the cat. Give me the bear. Okay? Give me the wild bear. Some of you all feel like that. You're dead ass serious. Give me the wild bear, please. Ew. It's so gross. Why would anybody wish that for you? There it is, that fucking rainbow again. You see what I'm saying? I see it, ally friend, but in the background, I see that right. Some of you all are gay. Some of you all are part of the fam. Some of you all are LGBTQA. Me too. Okay, they don't agree with your sexuality. Not big. They're and the reason they don't agree with it is because they feel like, why aren't you reproducing? They want you to reproduce so you could be miserable. They feel like that's why you dodge these poverty kings because you're gay. If you're a dude, they feel like you dodged the poverty queen because you're not into women. If you're a woman, they feel like you dodged the poverty king because you're not into men. You don't want the motherfucker. You don't want the motherfucker. You do not want the motherfucker. Okay? You do not want the poverty motherfucker. God damn it. Shit. The fuck is wrong with them? Duh. So they want to discredit, they want to overstep and overlook this shit. They don't give a fuck. They hate that rainbow. They hate it. Cause they're like, what does that mean? You need to do what you're not. You're looking at them like, I don't go to church, bitch. I don't get into religion, motherfucker. You went by the Bible, and that's why you're impoverished. That's why you chose any dude. That's why you laid down with a motherfucker that can't even rub two pennies together. You laid down with a dude with kids all over the place because you were trying. You were going off of that man-made religion. And now you're sitting your ass up there in church with motherfuckers who were groomed just like you and mad that we were not able to be groomed and manipulated, and you hate our sexual orientation, you hate our autonomy, you hate our individuality, our creativity, you hate our ability to choose for ourselves, you hate our self worth and our self value, you hate that we have the ability to stand up for ourselves no matter who the fuck got a problem, motherfucker. Okay? The fuck, yeah, motherfucker. And some of you all could come from a Caribbean background or a culture that this is unheard of, or they keep it under the closet and all this bullshit. How dare you come out of the closet? Speak up your mind. How come you come out? Speak up your blood clot mind like that. They hate that shit. They say, stop this shit. Why you the gay? Who told you to be the gay? Get over there, get a man. Go get a man. Go get a blood clot man. Go get a poverty man. Go get poverty. Go climb on that poverty one. Go let that poverty king knock you up. Go get a man. Cut this gay. Who the gay? You the gay. This gay. Where you get this gay from? You Americanized. You Americanized bullshit. Get over there and get a man. Be like Adam and Eve. God doesn't. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing that shit. Look where it got you. On your back, with your purse inside out, with a deadbeat loser sitting over there stinking up your fucking spot and knocking you up every 9 months. You can't even rub your motherfucking pennies together, motherfucker, because you're sitting up there with a poverty king. Now you will get the man. You motherfucker. You mother scunt. They're like, oh no. Oh no, you're so mouthy. Okay? Oh no. You don't talk back to bitch, shut the fuck up. But they're like, oh no. Oh no, you're going to hell. Gladly, motherfucker. If I go to hell, bitch, then you are too. You think I'm going to hell for being myself, my sexual orientation, because you're mad that I didn't make choices like you. So you want to condemn and look down on me because you're mad that you chose a loser bum bitch, motherfucker, to reproduce with that blood clot, that fucking pussy clot of a deadbeat pussy. And now you want me to prove it. I'm not proving shit to anybody. I know my freedoms. I know my worth, bitch. Your bitch. How's that working for you? Laid up with the poverty king. You don't have to respect the rainbow, LGBTQA. It doesn't hurt my feelings, but look where it got you being straight, bitch. Baby daddy after baby daddy after baby daddy. All of them are poor. They're poor. And you open your legs to poor. That's why you want me to be straight? You want me to be straight to get with that shit? Huh, motherfucker? And when you tell them that, they, oh my God, I pray for you. I'm gonna, no, don't pray for me. Obviously, your prayers failed because they failed you in your life. Obviously, my prayers must be working better than yours, LGBTQA or not. My life is just fine. You've been praying your whole life and you still got what poverty. You got what a motherfucker that represent poverty. They can't even give you a French fry. They won't even take a French fry and feed you and your kids because they're horror. You chose the dude that can't even get you a box of crackers. You got what a poverty king that can't even get you a crystal sandwich. You got what a poverty king that can't even get you a 99-cent fucking Whopper for you and all of your kids. But you pray to God and you want to come down on what my sexual orientation is because I won't get with the poverty king and the poverty peen and the community peen, the community whore, the community whore that breeds like a fucking rabbit. Your blood clot. Ew. So they can look down on and then whoever you are, whether you're gay or straight, regardless of what your sexual orientation is, you went against the grain on prayer. They call you a rebel. They don't like everything about you. And you don't give a fuck because it's not going to change. You live your life, bitch, and I'm living mine the way I want to. I don't need to be in everybody's fucking blood clot face. You spent your life bent over. I live my life stand straight up and living my life. You spent your life on your back, bitch. I spend mine standing up. You spent your life with your butt cocked open and your coach popped open. I spend mine reading and learning. Okay. You spend yours reading. Where is it at? They hate this shit. There it is. You spend yours knowledgeable to provide for yourself. Not worrying about what people think about your sexual orientation, your spiritual beliefs, what you do for a living, how you you know, bitch, shut the fuck up. You need to be changing a kid diaper. You need to be cooking for your deadbeat poverty king. You need to go make him a steak so he can empty his pockets, what 2 pennies in it, with 10 fucking kids from different women. You're motherfucker. Now shut up. Shit. So they get together and they gossip. Not only your family members, but women out in this world. They want to know about your coochie and your balls more than you. They want to know what you're doing with your coochie. Why aren't you they want come get poverty. Go lay down with this broke nigga. Excuse my French. Open yourself up to disease. Ew. Ew. It's ugh. Okay. Where the fuck they want to know like you don't have that whatever veil is over their eyes, you don't have that. You don't see, you don't find that attractive. You don't find being at the fucking bottom attractive. You don't find being attracted to a motherfucker at the bottom attractive. You don't find it being attractive to lay down with a bitch at the bottom, breeding with a bitch at the bottom, taking on their last name of shit. Your blood clot. Your motherfucker. So they say you're rebellious. They don't like the you could use profanity like me. Yep, I'm good at it. I sure I've been using profanity since I learned to use profanity at a very young age. Practicing. Okay? Very intuitive. I don't care about the status quo. I don't care about trends. I don't care about fitting in. I'm not going to anybody's motherfucking church to sit up in them fucking blood clot fucking benches with them fake motherfuckers. And none but women in there anyway. What the poverty king's offspring. with a poverty king preacher preaching wealth, but draining them out of all their resources. And they're crying all over the place because the poverty king that knocked them up cannot provide for them and got the nerve to be a gigolo. And they want to talk about your rainbow or your sexual orientation or the fact that you contain your energy or you're not a whole. You're not a whole. You don't care about what these dudes think. Get the fuck out of my face. I don't want your money, bitch. I don't want your name, bitch. Fuck your mora. Your mora fucker. Suck up your mora. I don't care about your mother. I don't give a fuck about your money, bitch. Fuck your car. And you. Move the fuck out the way so I can handle my shit. You're in my fucking way. You're blocking the blood clot, son. Son. Oh no, we don't like that. We don't like your mouth. We don't like. I don't give a fuck. I'm grown. I don't like your mouth. So I stay away from you. You're not even around me and you worrying about my choices and what I do with my motherfucking day. Go take care of your kids. Go get your poverty king. Rub his funky feet. See if you can scrape together 3 pennies out of his blood clot pocket that got a hole in it. Because he only has to divide that 3 cent with all 30 of his kids. I don't know the fuck he's gonna divide 3 pennies with 30 kids and 30 baby mamas. So what the fuck you're worrying about me? You need to figure out how to get your baby daddy to divide them 3 pennies of all the baby mamas he has to feed his kids. Don't worry about my sexual orientation because it's gonna stay that way until ever you're motherfucker. Now shut up. Beach. Yeah, you're the rowdy one of the family. They know better. They know better. They know. And then they know you know some things too, spiritually. And I sit their ass down in a heartbeat. They know you know. They know. They all know about you. Okay? So whether you're gay or straight, people know about you. They know that you can make some shit pop. And they can try you and find out. And they don't like it. So they want to talk down on it because they can't do it. They want to talk down it because they can't see it. They want to talk down it because they can't figure it out. They want to talk down it because they don't know what you have always known. Why you, not them? They feel like their life's supposed to be yours, your life's supposed to be theirs. You living too carefree. They want you to grow up. Go choose poverty. Go get with that ugly motherfucker that put a perm in his head. This dress from head to toe with $1,000 shirt, $1,000 pants, 30 fucking kids, 30 blood clot kids, $100, $500 shoes, 30 kids, 30 baby mamas, a Chevy Caprice, a 1909 Chevy Caprice that he put 50 grand into, 30 kids, 30 baby mamas, but you get a fuck blood clot old fucking car out the goddamn lot and pump 50 grand in it with 30 blood fucking clot kids. Fuck out of my face. Dismiss. Now give me my rainbow. It's Pride Month, bitch. Okay? Come along if you feel like a room without a roof, 'cause I'm happy. So it doesn't matter whether you're gay or straight, you still got people on your ass because of your belief systems and your life path that they feel should be more. You should be caring about whether people think you're married. Now, I'm not marrying anybody, bitch. I'm not a slave. I'm not a fucking slave. Ew. The fuck is that? I'm not a slave. It's not the fucking 1400s. I'm not keeping up their raggedy ass lineage. Fuck their lineage. Ew. Bitch, where's the cat? Ew. The fuck? They think that you're sad about it. Where's the man? Where's the cat lady shirt so I could dress up like the cat lady movie? I will gladly be. The fuck? Ew. The fuck is you the star? They don't like. They want you to dull your star. They want your star. They want you to dull your light, dull your star, not know who you are, not like yourself, not love yourself, not be true to yourself. Be a pick me. Be out here in these motherfuckers' faces begging for poverty. Please put me in poverty. Please, please, let me just latch onto your last name that doesn't mean anything. Please, just let me be walking with you so people can think I'm somebody so that I can have your last name that means nothing. And then we could pop out some more. We could pop out some people and bring them in the world and fail them and ruin their lives and bring them up in poverty and say we did the best we could. So that society will look at you and think you did the best you could because you lay down and throw your legs open for a dude that couldn't do shit for himself or you. Ew. That's why they're mad. They want you to change your sexual orientation, regardless. They want you to change your spiritual beliefs. They want you to be traditional. You're not traditional. They want you to be religious. You're not religious. They want you going to church and not going to that shit. They want you miserable. They know that you love your freedom. They know you love it. You're happy. You're not sad and miserable. You love it. You don't want that life that they had for the last time. They know that about you. And they want that to change. You just because you like poverty, you think poverty is attractive. You like dudes that represent impoverishment, squalor, the bottom of the barrel, motherfucker. Just because you like the bottom of the barrel doesn't mean you want the bottom of the barrel. We don't want the bottom of the barrel. We don't want to scrape the bottom of the motherfucking dumpster. We don't want to go dumpster diving for dudes. We don't want to be over there getting knocked up in a fucking dumpster with a dude with shit stains in his drawers with his pants inside out, doing what his mama told him to do at fucking 30. What, 30 fucking kids and 30 baby mamas? The fuck out of here. Blood clot. Ew. Yeah, yeah. This is what they want you and they trying so much. It's not affecting you. Chaos. That's how they want your mind clouded. They want this for you. It's not reaching you. They feel like your prayer shouldn't be heard because you're not living the Bible way. How come your prayers get answered? You're not even living the Bible way. You're committing a sin. You like a different the same gender. You like the same gender. You shouldn't get your prayers heard. They're doing what the Bible told them to do. They're being fruitful and multiplying with poverty. They're having baby after baby with losers. They don't care about their kids' future, and you shouldn't either. Just do it already. Just hurry up. So if they're doing what the Bible told them to do, why aren't their prayers getting heard? That's what they're saying. And if you're LGBTQA, or if you're straight but you're just not doing it, you're not breeding all over the place, then how come your prayers getting heard? What are you into spiritually? They think whatever it is you're doing, they think it has to be something really messed up because they can't do it and they don't understand it. Because if they could do it, they would. They've been praying their whole lives and making dumb choice after dumb choice. And they keep worrying about you. Worry about your prayers. Strengthen your prayers, babe. Because obviously you don't believe in them and neither does the Most High. So while you're worrying about what I believe in, obviously it must be something real for you to sit around. You say you love the Lord, but you want to plot on people that's minding their business because you've ruined your life and you made stupid choice after stupid choice and chose loser after loser in your life because you think that's what you're worth. You think that you deserve a loser. You deserve the poverty king, the poverty peen, the community peen, the community whore. You want to open yourself up to the community whore. You chose to lay down with that. So why didn't you pray? That's why you can't imagine that someone could be happy with their life because you wouldn't be. That's okay. That's what we're saying to them. And we're blunt too, right? They're toxic, poison. These motherfuckers want you in toxic connections. I told you. Harmful. These people are harmful. They made some of these motherfuckers, they wish you would just ooh, to get some poisonous. Why some of y'all don't even drink or smoke. And even if you do, you have your moderation. Some of them want you to get something like that. Like I told you, they want you with an alcoholic or a druggie or someone who's addicted to like a nympho or somebody who's incarcerated all the time. Somebody who make bad choice. They want you with someone like that or they want you like that. These people could be on this shit. All they do is drink all that. That's what they do, drink. They're not creative. They don't know it yet. They don't want to learn a different skill. They won't educate themselves. They drink, they smoke, they nymphos, and this is what they hang with because they don't want to elevate themselves and they don't want you either. They want you being poisonous. They want you to change everything about you to be more like them, and you're not going to change shit about yourself unless it's for the better, bitch. So behind your back, they just gossiping behind your back, behind closed doors. They want you mirroring their life. Okay. Yeah, they in cahoots, secret collaborations, dark alliances. Man, none of the shit they do is going to happen. So they can give up. Okay. You too strong for that. Mind, body, and soul and spirit. You see shit way before it go down. Yeah, they want to know like Work, jobs, business success. Yeah, your family, they don't want you being they want they your family is concerned about your work, what you do. They could even say that you be getting around. You don't get around. You're not a whore. You're not a hoe. They are the hoe. That's how they make them. You don't. You use your mind. You could be self-made entrepreneur, or you know how to do shit on your own. You don't need to be up under a bitch to do shit. They don't serve any value to you. They don't add value. Look at them. They saying that you're witchy. I'm telling you. We'll go back to what I said in the beginning of this about Eve's Bayou and the sister and how she was this a reader, intuitive. She had a gift. They mad at your gift. They wish you would stop. They calling it evil now. They say it's evil because it's you don't go to church. Well, you bitch, you go. You've been going to church your whole life. You sitting over there with 10 kids from 10 dudes. Does God respect that? Or you just worried about my beliefs and the fact that I'm not into the dudes that you were into? I don't want that shit. So you think you calling that a sin? I don't give a fuck. You're a sin. You got kids from different dudes, and they're all poor. And they're all poor, and you're attracted to poverty. You move these poverty ass dudes in your space, and you let them. They don't have shit. You let them knock you up, and you pray every day. You go to church every Sunday, right? But they mad at your spiritual beliefs and your sexual orientation because your life didn't go the way that theirs did. So since they can't do it and they don't understand it, they want to condemn it. They want you to bitch go on, lay down and go find another loser and open your legs to them. Why are you worrying about me? You missing out on another bum. Shit. You missing out on the poverty king that's walking around with his balls in his hand looking to see who he can bend over. Isn't that you? Shouldn't you be bending over for the dude walking around with his pants already down, his shit already hanging out? Ew. It made me want to throw up. It's so fucking disgusting. Yeah, they want to create harm. Look at this. Intent to harm. They are that angry. Okay. They are this motherfucking man. You got people that bothered by your life and you mind your business because your life, it reminds them of what they could do and you're not living the way that they think you should. They want to harm, intent to harm. They want you coming around them and you won't because they got intent to harm. They got intent to harm. These people want to find a way to get you around them or to get around you to intent to harm, but you are too intuitive. Okay. They would even send a piece of trash your way that they know it. That's why they mad that you're either gay, you're not into the opposite sex, or you're asexual like me, or you're abstinent. Because they want to send a motherfucker like this into you, the same one they got, a thug, somebody that like to create a lot of crime, somebody who has no respect for their life and their body, somebody who gigolo, have a lot of women, a lot of kids. They want something like this for you with intent to harm, but you won't allow it. You're not down with that. That means nothing to you. It adds no value to your life. You can do that shit on your own. They hate your independence and your strength. They you're not bound, motherfucker. You're not. I told you, whatever trap they set up, it's not. You did not go the route they went, so this will not stick. Okay. You know what this says? It's in reverse. So no, this is not for you. This is for them. This is what they chose for themselves. For you, you're not bound. It says attachments, toxic cords, negative karmic energies, bad habits. It's in reverse. So you're not going to have any of this in your life, no matter how much they motherfucking pray, how much they send bad energy your way, how much they wish that you would quote unquote grow up and get with a loser because you're balanced. Libra. You could be Libra soon. You like balance in your life. You don't want a loser. You don't want a broke motherfucker. Even if they have, you don't want their shit in the first place. You don't want them living with you. You're not living with them. You don't want anything they have to offer. It doesn't mean shit. Even their raggedy ass fucking last name. That's their mama last name. Why the fuck do you want a dude's last name that's their mama's last name? Ew. Bitch, go get your mom's titty milk. Get out of here. Fuck is wrong with you? Fuck. And y'all are blunt too, just like me. Your mouth ain't nothing to play with. You're not going to accept the things they accepted in their life. They were what you learned from, not what you will repeat. Somebody has to break the cycle. You want to keep that impoverishment going? Hang out with motherfuckers who do the same shit. Hang out with motherfuckers who be in each other business, want people to stay at the same level, being nosy, pocket watching and shit. Hanging out with bitches that make stupid ass choices with the people that they choose to be in their life, letting anything lay on them, lay off them, eat off them, leech off them, motherfucker, and then breeding with the motherfuckers and running the church, acting like you so saved and highly favored and all this bullshit, but then looking down on my spiritual beliefs. look down on it, but look at you and look at me. You love the Lord like you say you do. Why is your life in shambles? If you love the Lord, then why are you making bad choices and what you choose to lay down with? Why are you opening your body like a fucking petri dish? Why do you want to be the test tube of society? Why do you want people sampling your ass if you love the Lord? Here I am, spiritual, with my belief systems and intuitive, and I do what the fuck I do, motherfucker. I'm going to keep doing this shit. So shut up and go lay down and go slide that poverty king on you and let him knock your ass up again and shut up. You in the wrong person's business. If you were in his business, you might not be impoverished because you might have chose better. But you keep worrying about me and they worrying about you all. They need to worry about themselves and their bad choices and correct them so they can stop making them instead of worrying about us. Because we're not worrying about them. They're not even on our thought of our day. Thank hello. Shit. Go sit the fuck down. Stupid ass. I'm gonna stop right here because people look silly as hell. Yeah, that's what they wish for you, but it's not going to happen to you because as long as you continue to follow your intuition and stay connected with what you're connected with, they may not like your spiritual beliefs, your belief systems, your sexual orientation, the life path you chose, your decision making, the choices that you make, your resilience, your rebellion, your ability to think for yourself and stand up for yourself and not be a follower in a world of followers. They don't have to like it, motherfucker. Won't they be? Then shouldn't they be in church getting pimped by the preacher? Shouldn't they be opening up their purse to beg for a miracle from a preacher after letting these bum pump them up with kids while being mad at you? You weren't on top of them. The poverty king was on them with the poverty shlong, with the poverty peen and the community peen. That what was on them. You didn't do that to them. When they got done praying, they let the poverty king lay on them. So why are they mad at you? How did we get into this? You want to come for us? Bitch, you might as well get ready to get chopped down a shred. And none you could say to me that makes sense. And none he could say, you could say, I don't give a fuck about what none of them say. None of them do anything for me. So they can shut the fuck up and get over there and kiss that poverty king. Go kiss the poverty king and give him another and expand his lineage of chaos. Expand his lineage of nothing. Be one of many, motherfucker. Okay? It says light, dark, secrets, ways of change, silent shadows. Yeah, you are very, very intuitive. They don't like that shit. You are in alignment with the moon in spirit. Nothing can they want to throw you off so bad. They want to hear that you were thrown off. They would make them so happy. They don't understand how the fuck you still going. They said they did everything the right way. And who are you to come along and make different choices and things go good for you? They don't agree with it. You don't give a fuck what they agree with. Obviously, they agreed with the poverty king. They agreed with that poverty peen and their poverty poon when they leaned back and let that damn roach crawl on top of them to expand their raggedy ass lineage. Fuck out of here. Fuck man, hell no. No turning back. Hell no. You don't give a fuck about going around these people. You burnt that bridge for a reason because you didn't ever plan on crossing it again. Once they showed you who they are, you believed them, family or not. No matter who it is, you're not going to be out in this world making stupid fucking choices with anybody, including your own bloodline. Set up fire to that blood clot fucking bridge. So you'll never swim across it or cross it again. Fuck out of here. Shit. I'm talking about what they don't like. Obviously, it's funny that they come up with all these dislikes for your life, but they loved everything in their life, and that's why they got anything for their life. They gonna tell you what they don't like. You think I give a fuck about what you like for my life? Look at your life. You gotta pretend. I don't. You gotta impress people. I don't. You gotta be fake. I don't. Fuck out of here. Shut up. Learn to mind your business before I hurt your feelings so bad. You mind your business. They don't like your fucking alignment. You're aligned. Where do you get your knowledge from? You get it from the creator. And they say it's evil. If it's so evil, then how come your life ain't fucked up? And many people have tried. It ain't like your life has been perfect, but you're resilient. And you don't got to be resilient leaning on no motherfucker. You would rather deal with bears. I would rather deal with a bear, a wild bear. You come out alive than these poverty kings. Ew. It's fucking gross. That's disgusting as fuck. Okay? You're in alignment. They go them rainbow colors again. Somebody is definitely LGBTQA. Definitely. Not everybody who watched this. It's either LGBTQA plus. I'm the A. I'm the ace. I'm the asexual. And I am attracted to the same gender, which means that the ones I find attractive are from the same gender, whether that be studs, stems, women, but women who are also aligned, not for their body, aligned. I'm not attracted to males. I'm attracted to aligned women. Aligned. Also child free. They got to be child free as well and aligned and in tune with they self, not a follower. Speak their mind. Not being a follower, non traditional, not even religious. They are spiritual too. I'm not attracted to the opposite gender and never will be. Get the fuck out of here. What can they do for me? I don't want your kids and I don't want to marry you. So what the fuck would I be with you for? Why would I lay down with you? That's how gay dudes feel. They could be cool with women, but people be talking down on them. They're gay. Leave them alone. You can get mad all you want. They're not going to go sleep with a woman because you don't like it. Just like a woman who is not attracted to dudes is not going to go fuck her life up, ruin her life to follow some raggedy, stupid ass tradition and religion. They want you to ruin your life and sit over there with a poverty bitch, acting like you're fucking in love with them. I don't love you, bitch. You don't love your fucking self. So get the fuck out of here. Squirt your raggedy seed in cement and let it crust over. It'll be worth it in the cement. Fuck out of here. And if it hurt their feelings, it should. Or you could choose these women that want to impress their church and tradition and their family, and none of them would be there to help them. Okay, what the when the poverty king get done with them, or the poverty queen. If you're a dude and you're gay, if you're a dude out there, you make your own decisions and you went a different route and you're connected as well, and you are not a follower and you chose a different route. You too. People get mad at you. Give a fuck if you want grandkids. Fuck them grandkids. You ain't get none of that. You better go lay your old ass down and have that shit. I don't want anyone. Nah, there's enough poverty. Nobody will be passing down impoverishment. Ew. The fuck? They're not used to people thinking about that. Yeah, game over, bitch. They could try all they want. Nah, ain't no love lost, baby. You gonna do what you want to do. When you want, how you want, whenever the fuck you feel like it. Game over, bitch. So they can not like it. They could be resentful all they want of you. You know how they need to be resentful of their baby daddy, resentful of their own choices, resentful of the fact they had options and they ruined their own options by listening to the world instead of themselves. You don't have nothing to do with their stupid ass choices and they bad choice of partners and they poverty selection. And they can want you stuck like them all they want. How? When you don't make the choices, that's the choices they make. Get the fuck out of here and shut. They can shut up before you make them cry. Fuck all that. Who the hell they think they playing with? They gonna reap what they sow. They want you to. They want you sowing what they reaped. No, they gonna reap what they sowed. You lived your life a certain way. You got through everything on your own by yourself. You don't ask a motherfucker for shit, and you most certainly ain't finna be laying up under no bitch, smiling in their face like you like them. No, motherfucker, you gotta bounce, bitch. I'll make your ass cry, bro. Ain't nothing you can say. I don't give a fuck if you like how I look. Get the fuck out my face. This ain't for you. Get the fuck out of here. If I take a slingshot and take a rock and put it in a slingshot, we're gonna go back to the damn Bible days since they love the Bible so much. Get a slingshot, put a rocket in it, and bust ass in the head with it. Since they love religion, you could be like Goliath. Anyway, yeah, but it's cool. It's perfectly fine. Okay. You're not going to be who you're not. You're not going to change because people want you to. You're not going to ruin your life to make people smile. You're not going to be who you're not. You're not phony, wishy washy, or two faced. You always have been and always will be who you are. Something they will never know about. It ain't about looking down on anyone. You said what you said and you mean what you mean. They're not used to people being consistent and straightforward about anything. They're not used to people being straightforward about anything in their life. They're used to hanging around wishy washy people and being wishy washy themselves, condoning each other's behavior, telling each other it's gonna be okay when they both making stupid fucking choices. Then they trauma bond with each other, and here you are, good on your own. and they mad at it. Bitch, nobody care. Take that up with the dudes you're with. That's what you want. That's what you wanted, and that's what you still want. So ain't nobody fault but your own, baba. Get it together, bitch. Now sit your bitch ass down and shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Wipe your fucking face and shut up. Go to church. Read your book. Read your Bible. Go read your Bible. Read your hymn book. Sing a song or something. Shake your tambourine. But get the fuck out of our face. You ain't finna run a motherfucking thing in my life. First off, you can't even run your baby daddy. All of them. You can't run none of your baby daddies or your hard headed kids. How the fuck you gonna run me? Nah, Phil. Now get over there and love yourself. Shut the fuck up. Have some self worth and value, and stop being a fucking follower at your big old ass age. Before you ever think what you say about me gonna matter. I don't give a fuck, and neither do you. So shut your blood clot mouth and grow. You grow up and go pray for yourself the way you try to pray for somebody else, and make your prayers actually matter this time, because they haven't been mattering in your whole life because you keep doing the same thing over and over. So figure out how to make your prayers actually stick in your life the way you try to send a prayer to my life that's going to bounce back to your bitch ass and fuck your life up every time. Because I'm going to do what I do and y'all going to do what y'all do. And we going to be who we are because they can't be themselves. We going to do it for her. Back up, bitch. Your words don't mean shit. Until next time, karma's fucking real. The hell?